everybody. My name's Brenda and welcome to TangleBreak. I created TangleBreak to take a break from my day to relax and draw. And so thank you for joining me, and I hope that TangleBreak will give you a relaxing break from your day too. We'll be using the 8 basic steps of the Zentangle Method. Step number 1 is gratitude and appreciation. I'm thankful for the time that we have together to relax and draw. And the supplies that we're going to use today are a Micron 08 black pen, a pencil, a Tortillon, and a 3.5-inch white Zentangle tile. So go ahead and take a breath to relax, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, get your tile and your pen, and step 2 is making the corner dots. Step 3 is the border, and you're just connecting the dots, and I like to draw the line towards me. Step 4 is the string, and we're going to make a grid since we're doing fragments, and it's going to be easy. Just go to the center up here and draw a line dividing it into halves, and then go to each side, and we're just eyeballing it, and divide that section into halves, and then on the other side this section into halves. And don't worry if your line's a little wavy, because at the end it all comes together. Do the same thing on this side, straight down the middle, dividing the box in half, and then this side in halves, and then the other side in halves. And look, here you have it, your grid. Okay, we're going to be doing 2 fragments, and we're going to alternate the fragments. And we're going to start with the one that we did last week, which is B6. So sometimes doing one that you're familiar with is always a comfort. So you're going to draw an X, and then you're going to go about halfway and draw a line going around that will make a square. You're going to fill in that square, color it in. And then in the space around it, on each side, we're going to draw 2 lines. So 1 line, dividing the area, and then 2 lines. So you're going to make 2 lines fit in each space around the square. And just turn your tile to make it comfortable. And right now I'm drawing away from me because it just is comforting on this fragment for me. And for those of you that did last week's video, you will see that we're going to have a totally different look today using B6 and an A6. So now I'm going to skip a box and go right here and do the same exact thing, an X. Then I'm going to draw a line halfway around, making a box. It doesn't have to be perfect. Our whole goal is to relax, and at the end you will have a very interesting piece of artwork. So just relax. Now going around the box, we're doing 2 lines in each space, and this row will be completed for this fragment. We're just doing 2 in each row, and we'll alternate them. And we'll do all of these first, and then we'll do the other fragment. Okay, so go to your next row and you're going to skip the first box and you're going to put it in the second box. So it's going to go in the second box. Do the same thing, making your square. Color it in. Okay, make your 2 lines, draw your 2 lines on each side. Okay, now we're going to go to the last box on this row and do the same thing. Fragment B6, your X, your box, and then the 2 lines all the way around, and color it in. Draw your 2 lines, turn in your tile to make it easier and more comfortable to your hand. Okay, we're halfway finished on this part of B6. So now I'm going to go to the next row and do the same thing that I did on the top row. And so I'm going to go ahead and just do both boxes on this row at the same time, just to mark it. Do whatever makes you relax or helps you to relax. And then just fill them in. I'm going to go ahead and color in this one too. And then I'll do my lines on both of them. Two lines in each section around the square. Okay, now we just have one last row for B6. So you're going to skip the first box. And I'm going to just turn my tile and do it this way this time. So I'm going to do it on the top one. And then come down to the third one. Just to have something different. Now fill in my squares. Being able to have this size of a tile really makes it comfortable because you can just turn it and switch it around to however you want to draw it. Shade in the color in the boxes. And then draw 2 lines in each space around the squares. And And this meta pattern is pretty just like this, but we're going to add fragment A6 into all of the white boxes that we have. But I mean, that right there, that's a pretty look. That's what's so nice about Zentangle. There's so many options, and you can just keep exploring all the time. Okay, so now we're going to go into the white boxes and do a fragment A6. So I'm going to start here doing an X. This is all about X's today. And then I'm going to aura inside each side of the X. So just look, just a little band, and then go back to the corner and do that. And I'm going to do that on each side of the X. So you're just following along. It actually is directing you how to draw, because you just follow along the inside of the X that you made. And that's it for this part. And then there's one more part to it, and it makes the X pretty cool looking. Alright, the next step is we're going to make an orb. I'm going to fill it in except the middle. I'm going to leave it like it has a highlight. So I'm going around, but I still leave the center white. And I'm doing that in each corner of the X. So there'll be a total of 4 of these little orbs. And that's it. That is A6, fragment A6. And it will look so interesting when we do it in each of these white boxes. So draw an X. And then you're just going to aura inside of each of the X's, the sides of the X, each side of the X. I mean, you don't really have to do a lot of thinking. You're just going to put in an aura. And then when you finish, you're going to put in the 4 orbs that have the white center as a highlight. And that's it. And watch what a really cool tile this will end up being at the end. So put in your orb and leave the center white. And just darken in around, coming toward the center, and then you stop. Okay, next move on to the next row, and this is what we're going to do to finish all the white boxes. Put in your X, aura, and then you put in the 4 little orbs with the centers white. I'm going to go ahead and put in my X's. So then that part of this is finished. And then I can just go to each X and aura the insides. And you can do all of one row one way, or each box one way. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Whatever you feel like. I just have one more X to aura. Okay, and then the last part of this fragment is putting in the orbs in each intersection of your X. So going around and leaving the center white as if it's a highlight. All right, we have finished fragments B6 and A6. Okay, it's time for step 6, shading. So grab your pencil, and this is always fun. For B6 this week, I'm going to shade in the whole area of the box around the black inked square. So the whole box is getting the shading today. So I'm going to go around and do all of those first, and then we'll shade A6. And that already changes the look of that fragment by shading the whole thing. Last week we just shaded right around the inked in black square and then did along the X. And shading can really change the look of your drawing. I think it's so interesting. So now get your Tortillon, and we're going to blend in this pencil shading all the way around, smoothing out the pencil marks and giving it a very pretty color of gray. Okay, now we're going to shade A6. So grab your pencil, and of the X, I'm going to do the bottom half of the X where we auraed. The bottom of those two lines all the way across. So the top part will be unshaded and then the bottom is shaded. And then I'm going to turn my tile to do it in the other direction. Same way, I'm going to shade the bottom and leave the top white. I'm shading the bottom or space, and the top is left alone. And it just makes it pop a little. Okay, grab your Tortillon and let's smooth it out. And it just makes it blend in with the other fragment that we already shaded. Look at that. That's so pretty. It's like some kind of lattice work and woven square patterns. I love it. All right. So now it's time for step 7, initial and sign. So grab your pen, and I'm going to put my chop here at the bottom, BS, and turn it over on the back and sign your name for your relaxing artwork that you created today. And this is TangleBreak 2026. And the fragments that you used, just for your reference, are A6 and B6. And step 8 is appreciate again. And I love how intricate the pattern turned out today. And we were able to use a fragment from last week in a whole different look. So I hope you enjoyed our break today. I hope it gave you time to take a break and relax. And I will see you next time on TangleBreak. Bye for now.